These are the motherfucking human being. Ooh, we can play around with some shit. Don't get the big head, thinking that you're cooler than me. What's the human being? Let's play human being heads. Let's play with the human juggernauts. I'm a fucking juggernaut. Oh yeah, we finna go live all like this. So what the fuck is the human being? What the fuck is a human being? Right? So for those who just not tuning in, you just catching this on the replay. We want to discuss the human being. Today we want to discuss the human being with his head on him. We want to discuss the human being. We need to understand what the human. We don't need to understand shit if we don't want to. So I take that back. But let's discuss the human being, just pondering upon this, right? Because if you've been on this YouTube channel, you understand that we're talking about pure beingness. What's going on, Rosa Flame? Oh man, my bad. You know, it just come to me, so they gotta turn that live on, bro. When you get off work, catch the replay if you don't get to watch the whole thing. So let's tap into this beingness. Sorry, shit. So, if you've been watching this page, you understand that we've been talking about just the pure I amness, which is pure being, right? When we understand, it's hard to understand pure being, but we're going to get into it today. We're going to understand what a real human being is. Because if we understand beingness as consciousness, as I amness, you put the ness at the end of it to give it the flavor of it is what it is type shit. Just the pureness of I am, the pureness of I exist. You see what I'm saying? The pureness of I exist. And when we say pure, we don't mean as in not a sin, right? We don't mean as in a dirty bitch. No, that's not what we mean when we say pure. We say pure to give it, to let it know it hasn't been, not, I don't even want to say tainted, but let's use that. Not tainted with any other concepts or any other debris from anything else, any other add ons. So when we're talking about human being, and we understand him, being is consciousness, that I am, that knowing, listen, that knowing that I exist. Because there comes from a state of I don't know that I exist, and boom, instantaneously, like the Big Bang or some shit, I am. Suddenly I am. And suddenly I exist. And from that point, I exist. I want to continue to exist. This is the nature of human beings we're about to get into. So, from that point that I know that I exist, what the fuck happens after that? Because once I know I exist, I want to continue to exist. That's beingness. That is the beingness that we're talking about. That pure I amness. And just like the flicker of the flame, when you light the flame, what comes along with the flame? Fucking heat. Heat comes along with the flame. So what comes along with I know that I exist? I want to continue to exist. I want to continue to be. So with that wanting to continue to be, what do you get? You get what we may call the divine feminine principle, right? So that I am can be called, right, Rose of Flame, that's what we're getting into. So with that I am, that could be called the divine masculine principle, if you will. You see what I'm saying? But I'm trying to pull us out of those concepts because we'll start identifying with, oh, I'm divine masculine, I'm divine feminine, nigga. Anyway, but so what it does is once that I am knows that it exists, it continues to exist. It wants to continue to exist. So that I am even has the desire. It's a pure desire, nonetheless, but nonetheless, it's still a desire to exist. So, along with that comes time, right? What Rosa Flame just say? Along with that, knowing that I exist, time comes because it's wanting to continue to exist. So with the fact that it wants to continue to exist comes this time. And with that time comes this divine feminine principle. It's crazy because all of this, I'm breaking it up in pieces, but all of this is one whole thing. It's not separate. That's why Purusha and Prakriti not separate. That's why Shiva and Shakti is not separate. That's why Isis and Osiris is not separate. Pick out any other. If you just join, hit that like button. Pick out any other conceptual spiritual system. It's the same thing, gang. And please hit that like button. I see way more people on here than have hit the like button. So if we understand this, if we understand this pure beingness wants to exist within a snap of a motherfucking finger, it wants to continue to exist. What is it going to do? Then comes the five elements, right? Or the three gunas in the five elements. Rogers, Thomas, and Sattva, right? That sattvic aspect, which is that pure beingness quality. Please hit the like button, y'all. Which is that pure beingness quality that just is, isness, just pure is, just I am. Then you got Rogers, the active aspect. Then you got Tamasi, the lazy or the breaking down aspect quality. Please hit the like button. I see way more people watching than hit the like button. It ain't that hard, gang. It ain't that hard. We doing some big head human shit right here. Got this big wobble noggin on a nigga. So you got those three, and then you got the five elements. So with these five elements, now you have your human. So doesn't this line right back up with the divine masculine and the divine feminine? You got these aspects with the aspect list. You hear me? So to get aspects, you have to have something that comes from no aspects. To get qualities, you have to have something that is no qualities. That I amness, no qualities. It just is. And for it to continue to exist, it comes with time and form. Time and form comes from that. So what am I saying? The human being, if you think about it, what keeps the human being going? Just think about from birth. What keeps the human being going? Just wanting to fucking exist. Nigga, listen to what I'm saying. The human being is pushed off just wanting to fucking exist. The human being just wants to exist. Is it the human body that's logically thinking about your body's not fucking thinking about doing it? The body's fucking automatic. Automatic to do what? To continue to be. He told me I go get on the swing. Bro, I'm at the goddamn. The human body just want to continue to exist. It's a machine well oiled to continue existing. Obviously not forever. There is no fucking forever. But nonetheless, the human body continues to want to be. So you got that beingness inside of that human. This is what the fucking human being is. That beingness trying to continue to be inside of the five elements. Purusha continuing to be inside of Prakriti. Shiva continuing to be inside of motherfucking Shakti. From the jump when a human being was born, it starts with being. It just wants to. Look at the baby. I'm about to have a son. I'll be able to watch this up fucking front. Some of y'all already got kids or in close proximity of them. So just watch. They just want to exist. It's just an existing, it's not even an analytical thought process about existing. It's not like, oh my God, I'm human now, let me exist. That don't start to right 3, 4, 5 years old. But the natural understand, why y'all ain't hit the like button yet, man? I know it can't be that hard to be like, oh yeah, Let me back out and hit the like button. It is. I just hit the. I can't hit the like button. That's a lie. But so the human being is understanding. No, now we're understanding since a human being comes in, all it was to do is exist. But here's the thing about it, it tries to find its existence from the outside to bring it in, to give some feeling of the on the inside that I exist, instead of starting on the inside and understanding that it exists on the inside, which is your inherent nature. So this is why everybody's getting up, putting on the fly's clothes. This is why everybody's a content creator. They have to continue with content to feel that they exist. We have to continue with buying things to feel that we exist. We have to continue achieving things to feel that we exist. The human being is just being. It's just going to be doing. That's what this motherfucker's been doing here. But here's the thing about it: with that beingness, with that mix of those five elements, and in wanting to continue to exist, the mind develops, the memory develops. Right now, we're talking about. Now we're talking about manas, right? The analytical process, the buddhi, the intellectual, the memory, and the ahamkara, the ego, right? Now we got these things working. So what does that mean? If the beingness is just existing at the beginning, what meaning can you give to it? What do you mean it means something? There is nothing to mean anything. It just is. But by the time you get down to humans, so-called further in time, we come up with concepts and call it God. We come up with concepts and call it spirituality. Why? Because the human being has developed these aspects that wants to give meaning. Why is it giving meaning? Is it giving meaning to have real meaning? It's giving meaning just because it can. Just for the simple fact that it fucking can. This shit is spontaneous. This shit is just happening. And we give it the meanings. We give it the meanings. Are y'all hearing what I'm saying? Let me read some of these comments. It's self-preserved machine. Facts. P0. This is the meaning of a human being. We give this shit meaning. It has no meaning inherently. This shit has no meaning, bro. Human beings is just pure beingness with the five elements or with nature. To shorten it up, we give it a holistic concept like Prakriti or the divine feminine principle. The mind, the five elements, the five senses, even subtler than that, the principles behind the mechanism called the eyes used to see. You see what I'm saying? You got to have a software behind the eyes that's used to see, just like this camera. There has to be a software. You just can't have a camera and it automatically sees. There has to be a software behind that hardware that makes you be able to see. Excuse me, fellas, ladies. This is the human being mystery. It just exists. It's existence itself. The knowing that I am inside of the human body, so-called inside. The knowing that I am taking identification with the human body, pushing forward to exist through it. Do you hear what I'm saying? It's that I amness attaching itself to the human body to exist, the five elements, the gross five elements. But we cannot forget that these things are not separate. They're not separate. We have to give it a separate look. So it's like, how do you teach a motherfucker about how to build a car? First, you got to break the motherfucker down. You can't know how to build a car if you don't know how to break a car down. So that's why we say I'm not the body, not the mind, not the ego, not the intellect. All of that shit is this I amness. Because From me not existing or knowing that I exist to knowing that I exist, aka I am, then the rest follows. Then it's been so called a long journey down. Now I have started to identify with the physical shit, forgetting that I am this shit that is pure I amness. Coop TGS, Mothra, what's happening? Forgetting that I'm that, I start identifying with that. So of course I gotta take you through the nady process. I'm not this, I'm not that, I'm not this, I'm not that, I'm not this, I'm not that. If I'm none of those, then what am I? Is that what am I backwards? I am. So this human existence is that which we just said. That pure beingness, not human existence, but human, human, what the fuck is it called? Human being or being. What the fuck are you talking about, Rosa Flame? Like, that's what this shit is. So when Bobby says stop thinking like a human, stop thinking like the basic five elements. You have this being behind you as well. You have this pure existence behind you. Matter of fact, that's what you are, this pure existence, this I am. And you're limiting yourself to the body, right? Because we're all humans. Stop. We're all humans. We're all humans. We all bleed blood. See? See, so when we X out gender, okay, no, we're not talking about gender. When we X out race, no, we're not talking about race. Human beings on a holistic level are still only talking about fucking humans. Well, we're all humans. That's the one thing we do have in common. No, the one thing we got in common is beingness. I am. And once you understand that all that is in common, you understand there is no separation. Because the human being is pure beingness. The human being is pure beingness. The being has taken on the coat or the mask or the goddamn uniform or the outfit of the costume of a so-called human. The five elements, the five senses, the mind, the ego, the intellect, memory. Sadia, peace, peace. S-O motherfucking P. But then I can't be the ultimate magic master. You already done the biggest magic trick ever. See? The magical master has done the biggest magic trick. Coming from not knowing that I exist to poof, I am, I exist, and everything in front of me spontaneously pops up. That's the biggest magic trick. Magic trick. But we ain't looking at that as magic. There wasn't, you did not know you existed. And then you came into a place where you knew that you existed. This world was in front of you. Your mother was in front of you. Cats, dog, trees, and piss, shit, cars, money, food, breast milk, breast milk spontaneously appeared in front of you. What's the greatest fucking magic trick? What's the fucking greatest magic trick? To conjure up some pussy? To conjure up some astral pussy? Not saying that's not a cool trick. It's a cool trick, but it ain't the greatest. Nothingness becoming every goddamn thing. Bro, that's the fucking greatest trick ever. Human being is nothing but magical, nigga. Nigga, we got something called music. To come from no thingness to there being fucking music, hip hop, rock, blues, jazz. You ain't nothing but a hound dog. To fucking NBA young boy, nigga, that is fucking magic. Fucking grilled cheese is fucking magic. Fucking hibachi is magic. Chick-fil-A is fucking magic. Is you hearing what I'm saying? Please listen to what I'm saying. You're missing the magic, not you, Rosa. I'm just speaking in general. In general, we're missing the magic that I amness became nothingness, became I amness, and that I amness is now everything. Motherfucker, you not even y'all not sitting next to me, y'all across the globe, watching me in the palm of your fucking hand. What other fucking magic do we need? I said need. You can want all the magic that you want and do all the magic that you want to. Is that a real thing? In the relative world, yes, magic is fucking real. You're talking to a nigga who's practiced it. But the biggest fucking miracle, the biggest fucking marriage magic trick is I didn't know I existed. Now I just fucking exist. And everything fucking exists around me. My break is over. Thank you, brother. Love, twin. Much love, twin. SOP. Mothra says, worshiping the intellect has created a false reality where notions replace awareness of the self. Facts, right? Facts, right? So, and this is what a switch comes in at. This is what a switch comes in at. Once you have that conviction that you know that I am the self and I am is everything, or first you start off with knowing that I am not this body, I am not this mind, I'm not this intellect, and you know that I am this consciousness, or I am the self, or I am, period. Once you know that, then you double back and look that all of that shit is me. So even people who don't know shit about the self know something about the self, whether it be transitory, meaning it being temporary or not, because all of this is the self. This is why this shit is a fucking paradox, right? This is why this shit is fucking delusional. This is why this shit is fucking delusional. This is why to have knowledge of self, or to even to start the journey, so-called journey of knowing thyself, you're gonna look like a fucking lunatic. What Trav say? Trav called me a saint lunatic. That's why you don't share this shit with everybody. And that's why I say, Martha, right? We at the age of artificial intellect. Because all of this shit is artificial. So motherfuckers fearing artificial intelligence or artificial intellect, there's no reason to. It's artificial. It's official art. It's a creation, niggas. It's officially art. And art is whatever the artist sees. It's what the picture he paints. That's what the intellect does. Whatever the intellect sees, it connects dots and makes it something. I can take a, you know how in a psych ward they take the facts, Martha. Facts. It's already artificial. They take a blank canvas and just throw a blot of fucking black paint on it, and five different people see five different things. I see a giraffe. I see an evil monster. I see a rapist. I shouldn't have said that. I see a car. I see a bumblebee. What is that? What is that? Why is that like that? Which we know, right? Based off the mental impression that that a so-called person has had, they're going to see what they're prone to see, what they're conditioned to see. So if you've been conditioned to see that I am not this body, not this mind, not this body, first and foremost, and then you get to the point where you understand that, oh, I'm all of this shit. I am existence itself. That's what a human being is. The human being is that beingness coming, having the chance to come back and understand that it is pure human. I mean, that it is pure beingness. Because it's said that animals don't have that level of intellect to put one and two together to figure out that it is this pure beingness. Nonetheless, it is, but it does not have the choice to be able to make the decisions and search for knowledge of self like it does, like the human body does. The human body is the perfect hardware to be able to download the software to be able to understand its true nature. That don't mean you better than a goddamn dog, because that dog is beingness as well. Nothing but I amness as well. You should know this. When you make what Jesus said in the Gospel of Thomas we read, when you make the one, when you make the two into one, when you make the outside like the inside, when you make the above like the below, when you make the female like the male, not on some trans shit, but when you make the female like the male, when you make the right like the left, then you enter the kingdom. This is what a human being is. Any questions in the chat? Anybody got something to say? Any question? Let's see. Only the self is able to see the true unity beyond mental interpretation. Only. Because it has no choice but to sit there and observe and exist and observe. By its very existence of observation, everything comes online. That's the mystery to God face moved upon the darkness of the deep, whatever it says in Genesis. God face, the observer. What is a face? A face has eyes, right? The observer moved upon the nothingness, what Maharaj would call the absolute, the nothingness prior to consciousness. Listen to me. That face moved upon that darkness, that nothingness, and then it's separated. Huh? Then you get your Purusha and Prakriti. Then you get your soul and manifest reality. Then you get your consciousness and Maya. That separation, but it was made out of the same shit. That darkness that that God face moved upon in the void. Whatever the fuck that Bible verse motherfucking say. When you Rose and Flame said, when you make the grifter the master, god damn it. What Sir Impeccable say, you heard me speak. We all is one. Y'all should be hitting the like button, please. Because you're here for a reason. Y'all know this YouTube algorithm is an illusion, but serve your algorithmic masters. Let the algorithmic masters know that you at least like this video. So please hit that motherfucking like button, gang. So once you get to this understanding, what we've been saying, this world is fucking perfect already. It's perfect. It's doing exactly what the fuck it's supposed to do. The ones who's not getting it, perfect. The ones who are getting it, perfect. So if you get this understanding, like you gotta understand, that's why I always say, ain't shit else to do. 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 There's nothing else to do besides the shit down here. All the shit that's happening is happening here in this so-called manifest reality. And the manifest reality only exists in your mind. And your mind only exists within the self, within awareness. What else is there to do? All the happening is happening here. They even got stories about how the gods are jealous of the humans. They can't do what the humans do. So, in 1 minute, we can say being a human is the worst shit, and shit, then you can look at goddamn the other shit, and the guys is wanting to be goddamn humans. what do you say? Are you no way are you able to take awareness into your sleep? Okay, so that it means what? See now that and I know what you're saying because I that is a fact, and I have done that. So that's basically like having a lucid dream, right? Being able to observe the dreamer, dreaming, or being fully merged into the dream, but at the same time aware of having a dream. Because that's really basically all it is. See, in that level of awareness, that's taking that mind and being able to separate that mind from the mind, damn near. What the fuck could you call that, right? What the fuck could you call that? But don't even trip on it. Why would I say that? Because you already are awareness. You see what I'm saying? You already are awareness because there's no difference between the dream world and this world. The waking world and the dream world, there's no fucking difference. Laws of physics may change, but there's no difference. That's why I always said the spiritual work is also being done. I don't say it as much, but the spiritual work is also being done on a dream realm, in the dream realm. If you have been following my YouTube since I first started, I talked a lot about dreams because I have a lot of fucking profound dreams. I just didn't, I don't care to talk about them as much now because I understand they're just experiences. But nonetheless, the same shit in this reality. They're just experiences, and we give meaning to them, right? Which nothing is wrong with that. That's the point of this shit. Or so-called. At least that's what we say. There's a point to this shit. Nah, 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 nah. But you already are that awareness. You already are the observer of the dream. You already are the observer of the waking world. So there's no difference between the dream and a waking world. Inside the dream, that subconscious probably comes forth even more and give you all those mental impressions that you had during the waking day. But how quickly do we forget that's the same way that we see reality to this day? Our mental impressions, our subconscious impressions are pushed forward to create the reality that we see today, the experiences that we see. You know, that's why we say you think like this, then that's going to be your reality. So you walk around with an attitude all day, you're going to get into a fight with somebody. You're going to have the causes and effects of that. Same thing in a dream. But just like in a waking world, you're doing the same thing in a dream, which is observing the dreamer, right? Persephone myth and Demeter makes the land barren, and the humans all stop praying and worshiping the god. And the gods freak out because if the humans stop praying, we will cease to exist. We will cease to exist. That sure is the Persephone and Demeter. Sure is. And then don't Gaia come back through and just all this shit. I'm a redeemer. Gaia can be perceived as the redeemer as well, right? And Gaia ain't nothing but Maya. And Maya ain't nothing but Shiva. It ain't nothing but Purusha. It's looked upon as being separate. But that's what the ego and the intellect does. It separates shit. But you gotta understand that's the only way a dream can happen. That's the only way experience can happen. That's the only way an illusion can happen. That's the only way a fucking movie can happen. Think about that. Before we had TV screens and movies, if they did plays and reenactments and plays, everybody would gather around the fire and tell stories. You would have to be placed under an illusionary aspect to act like it's actually real and happening right then and there. That's what gives this shit the flavor. Same shit happening with this shit. That's how the flavor comes in. Cause I keep telling you, you get your ass past goddamn Tippereth up there with goddamn Hokma, Bina, and then some dark shit. Ain't nothing going on up there, gang. Think you gonna touch Kether and just be like some divine body floating around in gold, rose, and milk and honey? No, that's all human concepts of what perfection looks like. You already are perfection. What Maharaj say, a lot of teachers will tell you how to achieve, how to become better and become perfect. But you are already perfect. If you are already perfect, and I am already this whole existence, existence is already perfect. What? Change who for what? I'm not saying don't fix your attitude. What I'm saying is existence itself. We got to stop thinking like a fucking individual. Existence itself is perfect. Still fix your funk ass attitude. And I don't know if you niggas think I just got it all the way to fuck figured out. But nigga, I'm still deciphering through my funk ass ego. Me and my woman just had some shit the other night. Broke me down to goddamn tears. That illusionary male ego, just like a woman has an illusionary woman ego, based upon whichever culture people grew up in, the way that they see it, it's still something to work through. I'm still working through that shit. I know the difference is I know that shit ain't me. So the body and the mind will still have reactions. It's not about that. It's more about not identifying as the motherfucking car, or identifying as the vehicle, the body. And stop identifying as the fucking engine, the mind. Stop identifying as the fucking driver, the human sitting behind the wheel. That shit gonna continue. That's what the fuck. You ain't gonna be facts. You just gonna be sitting here. Okay, I got your Sharon pick. You just gonna be sitting here the whole goddamn time deciphering through shit. Sometimes you get to a state like fucking Maharaj and I don't give a fuck. You know, like them old folks get to it. I just don't give a fuck no more. I done already worked out what I done worked out. And honestly, understanding this type of information and putting this type of work in, you will see that you have no choice but the ego has no choice but to dissolve. And me personally, I see the benefits of a relationship, at least one where both people understand at least a bit of this shit. You understand that you working this shit out, and it can be nerve wracking, it can be annoying, it can be whatever the fuck it can be, but nonetheless, it's gonna be. I just posted something on my story and on threads that like you got to understand the people that hurt you. You got to be grateful for them. Because for one, you can never be hurt. You the self, right? The self don't get hurt. The body, mind, and the intellect and the ego gets its feelings hurt, whatever. But the ones that hurt you, you gotta damn near gotta praise them, be thankful for them. You gotta damn near be thankful for them. Because without them, you would not see this shit, this egotistical mindset or identity that you have, you wouldn't see it. You wouldn't be able to work through that shit. You got to be thankful for that shit. God damn it, that is grace. So when you go through your hardships are fucking grace. So the other night when me and my woman was talking about a fragile part of my fucking ego, that shit was grace. And that ego fights so hard to not come out. It fights so hard to not be exposed. It fight. Listen to me. That shit fight so motherfucking hard to not be exposed, bro. It gotta feel like it got this shit going on. Like that's what it got to do. And when you show it that it does not have it going on, please, y'all hit that like button. We got way more people in here than we got likes. You gotta be able to know that shit though. And then I bust out laughing at that shit, bro. Like it's actually funny. Look at my eyes. I'm dead ass serious. The shit becomes fucking hilarious when you can observe yourself like that. Guala, peace, peace. What's happening? SOP, gang. Prosper over pain. It's what we own. Can't believe they got this effect. I can make my head look this goddamn big. The mirror effect. Kaleidoscope effect. Yeah, yeah, we're gonna rock with kaleidoscope. Let's see. Blue retro effect. Thermal effect. Cat eye effect. Ah, I think I'm a reptile. Spiral cosmic eye effect. But yeah, we'll play with that kaleidoscope for a minute. But yeah, man, I'm telling you, man, that ego, that intellect, the motherfucker, bro. But it's a part of this shit. And you can sit there and be mad at it and whatever the fuck you want to do and rage hell, but this is what it is. It just is what it is. Understand it, know what it is, work through it. Let that shit dissolve. Rose the Flame said, yep, for me and my girl. Same for me and my girl. I feel like this shit is beautiful. And I also get why some people don't get in relationships as well. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. But shit, if I'm gonna be down here in the Matrix, why not? Why the fuck not? It's all a process, right? This is what human being is. We can make jokes about the people who don't realize this level of information, but that's literally the way this shit is supposed to be playing out. Or this is literally just the way this shit spontaneously plays out. This is just literally the way this shit does. So yes, I make jokes about people who, you know what I'm saying? Like, hey, what the fuck ever. In reality, that shit don't mean shit. That's a part of this shit. There has to be antagonists. There has to be points of reference where people do not tap into this shit, which makes this shit delicate to you who does tap into this shit. It's the same. You can look at that shit with any goddamn thing. If everybody on this planet had $6 billion in their pocket, what the fuck would be the worth of money? What the fuck? Yep, without a doubt. I struggle a lot with romantic relationships in the past. Now, after learning, I know that all of it wasn't me. Facts, facts. And like we said it, and like I said at the beginning, we gotta understand. Can I put that shit up? Hold up. Can't you do like the green screen thing? Hold up, y'all. Cause I can do the green screen. Oh no, I can't do the green screen. But yeah, you figure out all those relationships that you've been through actually build you up. It push you back into you. It puts you back into your own mind to decipher through your own shit. And even when you get in a relationship, it's still going you still gonna have to get deciphered through. That relationship is still gonna decipher through your ass, whether you like it or not, whether you would accept it or not, whether you run from it or not. Well, I can't be with people because people be like this, and see that's why I don't be doing relationships. I know he's gonna show you something of your ass. And if not, I mean, it's not that big of a fucking deal. I'm just saying. But yeah, 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 yeah. What you talking about, Martha? Martha talking about? I'm tripping. But yeah, back to what Martha was saying about the goddamn bringing that awareness into it, because we like on Sunday we talked about what did Maharaji say about those three different states of samadhi, right? Being able to be in awareness, pure awareness, with no um without having notice of the body or the five senses or the mind, which would be just like deep sleep. Be just like deep sleep. With practice, that shit comes. With practice, that shit comes. I have no doubt about it. With practice, that shit comes. But here's the trick to it. This is what I think. That's what you tell somebody who trying to intellectually understand it. If you ask me, that's what you tell somebody who's trying to intellectually understand it. Because if by repeated way of recognition that I am the self, I am the observer of this motherfucker, that's all it takes. You know that you are that awareness. So all these three, four, five, six, seven, eight, nine different levels of samadhi or getting to this what's the name is all jargon. Not to say that it's not useful and appropriate for understanding. It's useful and appropriate for understanding on an intellectual level because you are already that. You are already in that fourth state that they call Turiya. You are already not even in it. You are it. Does this make sense? So, like he told the person in the book, right? Like he told the person in the book, right? I talk about the heart is the center where the self resides. I gotta say that to a person who is caught up in the manifest reality and thinking that they are the physical body. I have to give it to them like that. But then he'll turn over here and tell you, no, it's not in the heart. It's not in a physical location. It's non-locale. When we say the heart, we mean the source. We don't literally mean the heart chakra. We don't literally mean the heart space. We don't literally mean the heart location. Facts. Cool. What Cool just said. But it's just another step tone to the ultimate realization. P. How can I step back and observe reality? So what I tell you is you have to start treating your life like a movie. Sometimes just sit there. Like right now, I have a mental image. This is playing around with the imagination nonetheless, but it'll get you somewhere. Right now, I have a mental image while I'm sitting here staring inside of this camera. I already see myself from an observatory standpoint, like it's a fucking camera over me watching me from that point of view, way up here, way back here. Make sure my shit just don't stick out. So I get to watching myself like that. And I also, you get to observing your thoughts in that same pattern. Now, what I'm trying to tell you is that you are automatically, systematically doing this anyway. You just have not put that attention on it. Before I learned about non-duality, I picked this technique up of observing my thoughts. When thoughts would pop up that kind of fuck with me or that I didn't agree with, in my head, I would have this mental sword, this flame lit sword, and I would slice through the images of those thoughts. Now I don't understand your ass to be slicing all goddamn day. But here comes the recollection or the understanding that you are observing those thoughts popping up. Those thoughts are popping up. Thoughts are popping up. Thoughts are popping up. Thoughts are popping up. But who is that that's sitting there still watching these thoughts pop up and go back and forth? Who is that? Who is that? Who is watching these thoughts go back and forth? So you don't want to beat yourself up to try to get some sort of fucking silence that we understand silence in an intellectual level. See, like even like Coop just said, like the real lecture is where the guru sits there and shuts the fuck up. That was Maharashi's way of teaching. That was a symbol. Nonetheless, a energy, I believe, an energy can come off a person who sits in its silence, but it's just not. The silence why I don't hear shit with my ears. I don't even know really what intellectual way to explain it. That's why you can't explain the self for real. You can't really give it a proper definition because it is that silence. You can start to catch the shit the more you just try. If I know it's not the normal silence that I'm used to hearing, what the fuck is it? And you'll start catching those little moments in between thoughts. You'll start catching those moments in between thoughts as you're constantly sitting and observing the thoughts because your thoughts are going to produce emotions. If you have thoughts about a lover, if you have thoughts about a hater, if you have thoughts about terrible situations, pull the fuck back and know that you are not those thoughts and just watch them continue to pass by. And you'll start seeing them start dropping off. Now, this is what I'm telling you from my personal experience. And one can say, well, the thoughts keep coming, the thoughts keep coming. It's okay. Let them keep coming because they're not you. You are the observer. Where you at, Guala? I'm talking to my nigga Guala. Let them keep coming. It's not about stopping the mind from doing its own, doing what the fuck its nature is. The nature of the mind is to continue to do that. Your problem is you're starting to identify with them. I'm talking to all of us. All of us. I'm talking to all of us. Our problem is we start to identify with them. Thoughts or concepts. Excuse me, y'all. Hold up. I'm sorry, y'all got to hear this shit. I should have put hit mute. Okay, Guala. All right. Facts. The mind produces thoughts in the same way the tongue produces saliva. That's the nature of the motherfucker. And the more you stop giving emotional attention and attachment to those thoughts, I mean, by the very least, we just need to do that shit with the thoughts that are unwanted. The unwanted thoughts. At least just start with that. So when those thoughts of fear and doubt and feeling sorry for myself and I'm not enough, you gotta observe those motherfuckers. Let them thoughts pass through and know that I'm not those thoughts. Sometimes I laugh at them. I just told y'all the experience I went through with my girl. I had to laugh at my goddamn self, like, damn, but like, I know that shit false. But somehow this fucking ego keeps pushing, 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 pushing. That shit's some fuckery. I know it's illusionary. Hold up. So yeah, y'all, we can rock out with the Glock out like that. Really. Unless somebody else got something else to say. Because I've been standing out here holding my piss the whole time. Emotional compulsion due to mental impression. Facts. That's what that motherfucker do. I'm telling you, when you start noticing that you're not those, when you start noticing that you are not those, once you start noticing what creates emotional impulses. You see what I'm saying? Like I keep forgetting the stages, the so-called stages that I went through to get this understanding, to have this conviction that none of that shit is me. I gotta give shout outs to Bobby Hemming. I gotta give shout outs to Brother Panic. I gotta give shout outs to motherfucking Phil Valentine. I gotta give shouts out to motherfucking Travis Majors. I gotta give shout out to anybody that shared that type of information for me to stop thinking like a fucking human. Because I can be considered an intellectual nigga as well. But I know I'm not this intellect. I'm the user of it. Really, I'm the observer of this intellect. But you got to go through those levels of understanding. Tatwa Shuti is a great book. Samkhya Darshan is a great fucking book. It's a great fucking book to get those mental processes. Fuck James Van Fleet, The Power of the Subconscious Mind. Panic referenced that book fucking 1,032,000,000,000 times. When you start understanding the factions of the mind, that's what is my key thing that I always say, y'all. When you understand the mind, you will understand the illusion. You will understand the matrix. You will understand all spiritual systems. Facts. Shout out to you, Coop. And facts to Sir Impeccable. Oh yeah, I catch myself in some shit and I can't do nothing but laugh at myself. See myself and say hi and say I love you, Rose. Like, come on. I'm telling you, gang. I swear this shit's simple. You just need to understand the factions of these minds. Be careful not to get too caught. Yes, the mind makes it real, right? It's making it, it's forcing it to be real when it's not. Because we got to remember what the mind is inclusive of: the intellect, the ego, the analytical process, and memories, mental impressions. The mind is a conglomerate of multiple shits. And in that conglomerate, that's what creates the mind. That's what gives the mind this thing. It stands and is willing to do anything to make sure it survives. So when you understand, and also that NLP, when you get to understanding what creates your beliefs, what creates your thoughts, what creates your emotions, you have experiences, you have thoughts that create, and then it creates emotions. Experiences, thoughts, and emotions, and then it creates beliefs behind it. Now that's a good belief, a sad belief, a happy belief, a bad belief, whatever the fuck. Nonetheless, that creates your belief system. Your belief system creates your concepts. Your concepts is how you live your life. Your concepts can build cultures. Your concepts can build spiritual systems. Is you hearing me? Because that's what it is. That's what these spiritual systems is. That's why I say if you understand the mind, you understand all this spiritual shit, bro. None of it is wrong, but all of it is nothing but concepts. You are the observer of all of that shit. Vivo says, when you dream vividly and then wake up, the transition between those two states give you the realization that those aren't the real you as you are. Facts. 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 Some even trippier shit. Have y'all ever had the experience of having a dream while in a dream? Yeah, facts. While I spoke about patterns, what you were saying, you asking a question, Guala, or you just making a statement? My bad, bro. Because it's nothing but patterns. That's it. But you are the observer of those patterns. That's why I say, like, once you understand spirituality, what is spirituality? Some people sit down long enough and realize that, okay, let me go into the patterns then. You understand that some people sat down long enough and observed long enough the manifest reality and notice all of these patterns. And based off of these patterns, they gave these patterns meanings. And by giving those pattern meanings, you create culture. You create moral standards. You create superstition. You create gods or a god, and you create tradition, and you create ceremonies, and you create rituals around those patterns. That's all any spirit, I don't give a fuck. Egyptian, Atlantis, and Lemurian, whatever the fuck you want to go back to. Hinduism, occultism, because occultism ain't nothing but all of this shit jumbled up. That's all it is. So if that's all human spiritual systems about, that's all humans are about. Nothing but these patterns. And there's 5 principles that these patterns are based off of. No, that these patterns are earth, water, air, fire, Akash, or space. And all of those come out of space. Right. Now, and I got a what's the name I may be doing sooner or later, Guala, where the all is the mind. All is the mind. The all is the mind, or the mind is all. No, it's the all is mind. The all. Here's the trick to that. That's true in the sense of everything that can be known is the mind. How do we know that? Because everything that can be known can only be known through the mind. And what do you have to do to know shit through the mind? The mind grasps information from the 5 senses. The 5 senses relay it back to the mind, and the mind creates the reality. What I'm smelling smells good. What I'm seeing looks dirty. What I'm hearing sounds right. What I'm hearing doesn't sound right. What I feel feels right. What's the other ones? Whatever the other ones is. And then those 5 senses also correlate on a subtler level with the 5 elements. So I have a little bit, I won't even say a stick, I have a little bit of a stick with the 7 hermetic principles. I'm not saying they're false. What I'm telling you is there's another. I hate to use levels, but there's another level behind it. Because when we're talking about knowledge of self, you can't. The trick is knowledge of self. Knowledge and self are the same word. It's the same word. Knowledge and self is basically the same thing. So you're not going to actually grasp knowledge from the 5 senses to, oh, now I got it. I know the self. I taste, touch, feel, smell the self. I done did all that, and I know the self on an intellectual level. You're not going to be able to understand it. The intellect is the highest level of the mind. It does not go anywhere beyond that. Peace, peace, peace. Ray 636. Always standing on this cosmic peace shit. So you are the knower of the mind. So the mind is limited. All that can be known is the mind. You are outside, you are the source of the mind. You are the observer of the mind. You know what I'm saying? It's just not some jargon because we just ran through how you can observe your thoughts, you can observe your memories, you can observe your emotions. That's your direct experience. That's not some shit you just got to get out a book and go meditate 33,000 years for. That's the most apparent truth. That's why I said the only thing that we know is that I exist. All these concepts of spirituality, we really don't know them for a fact. The mind is making that shit real. But what you know for a fact is that you are the observer of your mind. That's what we know. That don't sound like everyday spiritual talk that you hear. And I get it. But you can't tell me that's not your direct experience, nigga. Because the so-called consciousness that I have is the same consciousness that you have. So there is no separation between our consciousness. Concepts are tools, facts. Zero says our existence is the only reality. The unconscious conscious, it depends on what you're saying. Because ultimately, there is no unconscious. You're always conscious. Because let's say, how did you come? Let's just say, let's use the clinical version of unconscious, right? The clinical version of unconscious would means what? That person is not aware of his surroundings, right? But when you come back into consciousness, then you're like, oh, I know I was aware that I was not aware. So even when you're not aware, you're aware. You get where I'm going with this? This is your direct experience. You don't have to go to a book. You can, because they go deeper on it. But you don't have to. This is your direct experience. Even when you don't know something, you know that you don't know. This is the mystery of all mysteries. But it's not even a mystery. It's a paradox, right? Certain people said that perfect time. It's a paradox of the apparent nature. It's right there, smack in your face. So who is that who knows that he doesn't know something? Who is that who knows he doesn't know something? He has to be prior to knowing. Because before you know something, you don't know it. So who is that non-knowingness? These are the questions we should be asking. These are the most profound questions to be asking. Not what the government or aliens are doing, or what the fuck AI is finna do. That's fun shit to do because I do it. I just don't bring a lot of shit here to YouTube because I know fucking human beings and they fucking minds. They gonna fucking attach themselves to and try to deep dive into that concept when we're forgetting about the first thing. I am. I exist. Glad to have you back, Rafe. Glad to have you back. We say Shy the Sage says, take no. I ain't never heard of Shy the Sage, but that's it. Take nothing personal because nothing is personal. There can be no question of personal if everything is you, because personal means individuality. There is no individual. It's all one. It's all nothing separate. It just is. It just isness, right? But don't get me wrong. Work through that shit, right? Because we still have a sense of individuality going on here. You have to be able to convey words to another person. Other than that, it will be exactly what Coop TGS said: pure silence. But other than that, you're gonna have to use words to convey. And if you use words, you're automatically in the sense of duality. Because words, if I use this word, that means it's not this other word. If I use the word TV, that means I can't be talking about a fucking broom, right? So we have to have individuality in there. We have to have separation in there. That's why Maharaj tells you that all this shit is false. All the spiritual knowledge, all the spiritual words, even he conveys, is false because the ultimate is silent. There is no words to describe it. Facts, cool. But you have to sit and accept and have that conviction that none of this shit is personal. It's really not once you zoom back out and watch it. It's really not. The ego is just trying to make it personal. Really not, y'all. Hit that like button if you just joining. We really finna wrap this shit up. Let somebody else say something. If not, we finna go on and wrap this up. Don Tree said that's why I've been in a state of silence over the past week or so. It's a beautiful thing. That's a beautiful thing, real shit. Shout out to my nigga Don Tree. I did drop my first YouTube video. Send it to me, bro. Send it to me. I'm subscribed to you. I should have been and seen it. What sir pick that man gonna get that ass something to do. It's definitely gonna get that ass something to do. Yeah. Rafe 36 be dropping that shit. He be posting that shit on his community wall. Yeah, I know exactly what you meant though. I know exactly what you meant, Rafe. And to Guala, yes, that's just a concept used to describe it because we have nothing else to compare it to besides the dream world. Or we can compare it to a movie, or we compare it to a story. So yes, that's a good analogy to use because there's really no difference between the dream world and this world. So the dream world is just as false. This world is just as false as the dream world because it's all temporary. Because what creates the dream world? We got to think about that. What creates the dream world? Your mind creates the dream world. Your mind creates the dream world. Your mind creates the dream world. And I said, here's a hint there's no difference between the waking world and the dream world. So take that and do what you will with that. There's no difference between the two. Ray says, I mean, most people on here talk a lot but nothing to say. But when reading, something might catch on quicker. Facts. No, facts. Facts. Zero says, when you can pull the energy inside in silence and stillness, then that's true energy. Because everything in that stillness state is the 0 point. That is what we are. That is exactly the facts. My nigga Zero. Cody, what's happening? Ain't seen you in a minute, man. He said, I wonder why dog is God spelled backwards. Like a dog eat dog world. God eat God world. God is doing it to himself. God is doing it to itself because it's nothing but God. That's why I tell motherfuckers, they be like, hey, I'm a God, I'm a God, I'm a God. I'm like, because I went through that stage too, but now I get it. It's like, duh. What else could you be? Nothing else exists but God. Nothing else exists but God. No, that's good. Lose your noodle, Cody. Lose your noodle. Just don't cause harm to others. But lose your noodle. Because you definitely lose your noodle when you on some shit like this. Facts, while the kingdom is within. And the kingdom is within and without. As above, so below. As within, so without. Right? That's when I catch Freddy Krueger. I see it totally different now. Sleeping and dreaming. Okay. Okay. Cool says facts. I'm like a damn soap opera here. Love you all, the community. My Gnosis building represents perfect the transmission of the peace. Straightforward. Facts. Hell yeah, y'all. But I'm gonna keep it 100. I've been holding this piss in this shit too long. I love you niggas. Stand on motherfucking principles. And remember, no obstacles will apprehend you. Prosper over motherfucking pain. I gotta get this shit out of me, gang.